Yo, what is up? We are back with another Frontlines videos. This time we are defending in the old Overlord map, the ones that we have been accustomed and used to. We've been playing this map for like 9 months now. Everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows what to do on this map, I suppose. So let's get started. If you are here for the first time, remember to subscribe, turn on the notifications, especially if you are here for the mod pack videos. It certainly helps my channel out a lot when you subscribe, and also give this video a like if you have found it useful. It helps out my channel very much, so I want to thank you in advance for it. So what are we going to do? The first thing we're going to do is, even though we are in alpha and we are defending, I am being hyper aggressive. Why? Because I know these guys are going to try and cross over to the Bravo side to try to attack from the Bravo. Now everybody knows on Overlord map, Bravo is the easiest to capture, so everybody is trying to make, everybody's trying to push over to Bravo to capture it quickly, and they tend to cross over from this side and then completely ignore Alpha for the early part of the game. So what I'm trying to do is try to catch out this Somoa with his pants down, I suppose. I ate 2 shots from him. I shouldn't have, I was a bit greedy. I could have, reversed back, hull down a little bit more and not take any damage. I should have not taken any damage there because I was in a very safe hull down position, but I also got a little bit greedy, didn't want him to get away, wanted to track him twice, but in the end I did manage to win out there, but it delayed me a little bit because look at my HP. I've lost a little bit of my HP. I want to go and repair myself right now and top up my HP. It's not bad of a trade. I did manage to block a little bit, spot a little bit, and do a little bit of damage. Now what I normally want to do here right now is shoot those guys at Bravo who are going to cross over and try to make their way up to Echo. When they're driving across, I can sit in this open here and shoot them while they're driving across, but I can't do that with half HP. I can't be aggressive. So what I want to do is actually go to the repair station, try and get myself topped up with my HP, and then go back to Bravo and see if I can delay them pushing down to Echo, where once they break through Bravo and Echo, they're home free. They're through to our base 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's not going to be good. So that's what I want to do. I want to stop them from advancing to Echo. In this map, as you know, we've been playing this Overlord for many months. The attacking teams know exactly what to do. They know how to attack this map very easily, and if history is any kind of indication, they're going to win this game 70% of the time. On Overlord map, attacking teams are going to be winning 70% of the time. Now I wanted to make my way up to the other side to stop those guys from Bravo from driving to Charlie, but it seems like we have a little bit of action going on here in Alpha. Looks like, if you look at I toggle the map here to show it to you, there's a lot of people that are attempting to cap now. So what I'm going to do is try and disrupt this capture and see if I can get a bit of damage on those guys in the capture circle. Now, as you know, if you didn't know, when you shoot the guys that are capturing, you earn more frontline points, you earn more XP. When I do damage on the guys that are actually capping, I will rank up a lot quicker. So if you get an opportunity to shoot guys inside the capture circle, go for it. Don't waste time. Now they're going to cap this out unless I sit inside the cap and stop them, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Force them to come at me and I can shoot at them and disrupt the cap a little bit. I get a little bit of ramming damage there, but I'm gonna die. But that's okay because I have one more tank in reserve. Now they were going to cap A anyway because if you look at the team sheet, you can see there are so many of them has poured over into the Alpha cap. So there was no way I was going to be able to hold on to that anyway. Now I'm sitting here in my garage thinking about where I want to go next. Now my tank is already ready to go, but I'm thinking, where is the best place that I can make the best use of my tank? And I decided to get into my Caernarvon AX heavy tank and get into Echo to defend it from this little pocket that I'm going to show you here. But this is a calculated gamble. gamble that didn't work out for me. Now, as you can see, there's only 4 tanks, 5 tanks on this flank right now, the enemy flank. But I was gambling that they were going to pour into Echo right now. Once they've captured Alpha, they were going to push through from Bravo to Echo. So I was anticipating that. Didn't work out to plan. Like I said in one of my tips, always use medium tanks, fast tanks, light tanks, wheel tanks. Those are the best tanks to play in this game, and I'm going to show you why. Now, I'm in a heavy tank. I am taking a gamble here. This is a great pocket to sit in and wait for them to try and make a capture. When they capture, you can shoot into the cap and rank yourself up really quickly, providing that you made the right calculation and that they are going to cap. Now, I'm sitting here and I'm toggling my team sheet and checking. Look, there's not many of them. There's still 5 of them. That means they are not here. What am I going to do? Sit here and wait for them? If you sit here and wait for them, you're just going to be wasting your time. You're not going to be ranking up. You're not going to be shooting anything. So you're just going to be sitting here and wasting your life away. You've got to make a decision. Either you push forward and see if you can get some kind of damage elsewhere, or you sit here and wait forever till the cows come home and you're never going to rank up. You see me here waste a lot of time. In my lieutenant rank, I ranked up pretty quickly early on, but now I'm sitting in lieutenant, not doing anything, not getting any shots out, and basically I'm wasting my time. The more time I'm not shooting, the more time I'm wasting and not ranking up. So what I'm going to do is drive to where I think the action is going to be, which is where I'm driving to right now. I've got another spare tank in reserve, so I can sacrifice this tank. I can be aggressive in this tank. Even if I lose this tank, I'm going to have another one in reserve, so that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do is, even if I have to throw this tank, I'm just going to go in, get as much damage and shots as I can, because the action is not happening right here in Echo. I'm not going to sit around and wait for it. And one of my tips was to tell you, never sit idle. Even if you're in a heavy tank or a tank destroyer or an SPG, if you're not getting any kind of shots, if you're not getting any kind of action, go to where the action is, drive to where the action is, make sure that you can get your gun singing, manage your respawns well. If you have another tank in reserve, it's okay if you lose this one. If you didn't notice, ever since two episodes ago, they've changed the timing of the respawns. It means you don't need to sit in the garage for 30 seconds to wait for your tank to be ready. If you die and you go into your garage, you can almost immediately respawn into your next tank. So it pays to actually be aggressive. It pays to suicide. It pays to be ultra aggressive, hyper aggressive in your tank. If you lose your tank and you have another tank in reserve, it's going to be okay, because you're going to respawn immediately and you can almost get into a new position almost immediately. Now, it's very unfortunate that I got ammo racked here, because I do have the DPM to take on the T44-100, and look at this LT432 on my teammate. He did not help me out there at all. We could have both rushed that T44 and killed him off quickly and deal with the other tanks that were coming, but instead he was tunnel vision, just looking at the T44-100 and trying to save his HP, while that Batchat just drove up behind me and shot me in the ass and finished me off. Well, it is what it is. You can't expect all your teammates to be have the map awareness as you have. That's too bad. I already calculated that I could risk the Caernarvon AX. I already calculated that I could risk that tank. If I died, it's okay. I have another tank in reserve, and that is exactly what I'm in. I'm in another LT432, and I am going back to the spot that I initially thought was going to get rushed, and I'm ready to defend it in my LT432. And this time I am in a more mobile tank, so in case I need to shoot anyone, chase anyone, switch flanks, I can do it in this tank. This is a much quicker tank, although it does not have as good armor as a Caernarvon AX, but it does have a little bit of a trollish armor. I can get away with close combat with this tank because it's quite useful. A little bit unfortunate there, got penetrated by the Link 6x6. I'm trying to chase him down to get the extra damage or see if I can finish him off, but I don't want to chase him too far because I know he's a lot quicker than me. I have a Tiger 2 to shoot at, by the way, so I might as well try to shoot at him. Again, when you're playing in this game mode, you must always operate with the assumption that this game is going to finish in 20 minutes. So you got to be really quick if you want to rank up. Now, if you look at the mini-map, you can see 3 objectives have already been captured. Ideally, you want to be ranked general by the time all 6 of them have been captured. So even before they start destroying objective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, as soon as the 6th one is already captured or destroyed, you want to be ranked general or major or close to general. So that is my goal. My goal is always to operate in the assumption, with the assumption that this game is going to end inside 20 minutes, okay? Because everybody is getting better at attacking, so the games do not drag on longer than 25 minutes. You need to assume that it's going to end in around 20 minutes, so you need to force yourself to rank up as inside those 20 minutes, which is exactly why I am playing so aggressive, which is why you need to play as aggressive as your respawn tanks allow you to be. Now, I have another tank in reserve. If you look at my bottom left, already one more tank is ready in reserve, which means if I am hyper aggressive in my LT432, it is not going to be a problem because I have another tank in reserve. I'm going to be as aggressive as I can be. It's going to be hard for me to penetrate those guys, and I'm being airstrike now. This is a favorite position of a lot of tanks, so they know to airstrike and destroy this position if they can. So I do not have any more HP, so what I want to try and do is see if I can run away, get to the repair station, get myself topped up in HP, and then maybe return back into this position again and stop them from capping, try and earn the trying to earn the damage from those guys capturing. Now, I shouldn't have shot here because shooting has given away my position here, and because of that they shot me while I was inside the repair station. I did not manage to get any of my repairs done, which is a real bummer because I could have been, if I had full HP, I could have been hyper aggressive, got into the capture zone and got myself ranked up really quickly if I got some damage on those guys that were capping. So that's too bad. Oh, and looks like they tried to airstrike me again. Now I really have no more HP. If they as much as breathe on me, I would be finished. So I decided to just get out of here. Just as well, they've capped it. They've capped Echo as well. So now, if you look at the mini map, Alpha Bravo Charlie is already captured, contested and captured. Delta Echo contested and captured as well, which means there is only Foxtrot left to cap, so I'm gonna make my way there. Now, I've wasted a lot of time ever since I got into that Caernarvon Action X. I've been stuck in Lieutenant all this time. It's been over 5, 6, 7 minutes that I've been stuck in Lieutenant, which is really terrible if you are trying to rank up to General. So remember one of my tips: play in medium tanks or light tanks or fast tanks or mobility tanks. This is the reason why. That making that mistake, getting into that Caernarvon Action X and predicting the wrong place to defend, which was the Echo objective, where I tried to get my heavy tank into that position. I miscalculated and I made a mistake, but it is not too late for me to redeem myself. You always want to give it your best, try your best, see if you can rank yourself up even with the minimum time that you have, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. Like I said, in this game mode I don't often play heavy tanks or tank destroyers, but that doesn't mean there is no place for those tanks. Now, if I was in my Caernarvon Action X in Echo and they decided to rush Echo, I would have been in a superb solid position, solid tank to capture or to do damage into them while they were capturing, possibly defend it on my own. You know, I could have possibly been ranked up very high right now, but I timed it wrong. I made a mistake. That's okay, move on. You took a gamble. it didn't work out for you. It's just one of those things, but it doesn't mean you're gonna give up on the game. It doesn't mean you have no more chance to rank up. As long as you keep trying, keep looking at the minimap, keep trying to figure out where is the best place you can apply yourself with the tanks that you are using, the tanks that you have. You can always try to make the most out of this game mode. Now look at my respawn. I have 2 tanks in reserve, which means this tank is due for kamikaze. It's time to be aggressive. It's time to, you know, earn as much XP as I can, Frontlines XP as I can. Let's see if I can spot these guys out that are capping. If I can spot these guys out and do damage into them while they are capping, I'm gonna get a lot of sweet XP from those guys. Now I'm not spotting them, so I'm gonna be try to be more aggressive in trying to spot them. I got a little bit of damage, a bit of spotting from that guy, so I'm gonna rank up pretty quickly right now because I am focusing my attention on shooting whoever I spot and whoever is in the cap. See if I can get some residual damage or what do you call it, assisted damage here if I can. There you go, there is a Scorpion G in the cap, and I'm gonna spot him and I'm gonna shoot him myself. My teammates are gonna shoot him, so I'm gonna earn residual damage or assisted damage for that Scorpion G. So I'm gonna rank up pretty quickly as long as I keep making or spotting guys that are in the cap. I'm gonna earn a lot of this damage and assisted damage. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. There's no one in the cap right now. I think maybe there's just one more guy in the cap, but the nameless has gone in there to finish him off if he can. Now I'm going to try and be as aggressive as I can. There is a T-28 here. Looks like it's going to be my spotting if I'm not mistaken. And my teammates are going to... I can't damage him even though I've switched to APCR premium shells, but well, even though I'm not doing any damage into him, at least I'm keeping him spotted and I'm earning a little bit of the assisted damage. There is an LPC there, I can shoot him. LPC, the offspring tank. So I'm gonna see if I can get into this hole and get hull down from that guy. I do not have the elevation to shoot the LPC, so I'm gonna try and change my angle and shoot into him. But there is a tank destroyer here I can damage, force him to back down, or see if I can damage him more. But looks like I can't, and looks like they've captured it already. I can't do any more. I've done as much as I can. It's a bit unfortunate that they've managed to cap it out, but it is what it is. You do your best and move on. I've moved up to captain. I'm almost a major, and what can you do? It is what it is. Just keep chugging along. Switch into HE shells and chase down this Link 6x6. He's a pretty fast tank. Even with my HE shells, sometimes you bounce, sometimes you don't do any damage. It doesn't mean you give up, it doesn't mean you stop trying. Just keep going and keep trying. Now my own teammate gets into my way and I do no damage, but I think I finally get the kill shot here. Yes, I do. Now there's no way I'm gonna be able to escape this. If I try to run away, these guys are just, the enemy team is just gonna snipe me down, so I might as well just hide behind this building instead of running away, because if I try to run away, those guys that are the enemy team that's pushing into this position, they're just gonna snipe me, and I'm not gonna be able to escape anyway. So I might as well just try to make the most out of this house and hide behind this hard cover here. See if I can do 2-3 more shots of damage before I die. I've got 2 more tanks in reserve, so it's no big deal for me. I can jump into another tank as soon as I die, but try to make the most, try to make the fullest use of my HP right now. As long as I can stay alive, I will try to do as much damage as I can. Very unfortunate to catch on fire there, but I've ranked myself up into major. There's still a couple more minutes, and the objectives are still alive. None of the objectives are still completely destroyed or damaged, so I've still and you can see I'm in my garage here. I have plenty of time to think about what tank I want to use and where I want to go. Even though my tank is ready, I'm spending my time thinking about where I can best apply myself. I decided to go with the T44-100, and again, I'm making a calculated gamble here. I'm thinking to myself, a lot of people like to flank the objective 1, trying to surprise attack it and get all the damage for themselves. I want to catch out those guys, but I think I've made a mistake here. There's only 2 enemies on this flank, so what am I going to do? I've got to play this a bit more aggressive. Fortunately, I'm in a T44-100. It is a really good combat aggressive tank. I can use a little bit of its armor to be aggressive, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. If there are 2 tanks on this flank, 2 enemy tanks on this flank, I'm going to be the one to try and find them. I'll do as much damage as I can. Looks like we've lost 1 objective. We lose 2 more and this game is over. There are 3 enemy tanks here. I'm going to make it my mission to find them, do as much damage as I can. Again, look at my bottom left. I have 2 more tanks in respawn, so if I lose this tank, it's going to be okay, no problem at all. Lose this tank, I can still spawn into 2 more tanks as long as I have the time to do it. Now this is the Nameless. It's got great frontal armor. It's really hard for me to pen this guy, even if I'm using premium shells. Now he's got a UDES to help him out. On top of that, looks like I'm gonna be game over here. I'm dead. That's okay. I'm gonna hop into another tank and keep trying to get as much damage as I can. So I think I'm thinking about what kind of tank I can use. I'm thinking about going into a fast wheel tank because I'm running out of time. I still have 1 more tank in reserve if I need to. I could YOLO and make the most use out of the EBR. I need a few more shots to get into general, so that's exactly what I'm going to do with the EBR. With the EBR, I can flank, flex, go to different positions as quick as possible, and this is one of the advantages of this tank. I can manage to catch this guy out of position and I can damage him, and I can basically get him for free. So that's exactly what I'm doing, which is the reason why a lot of people like to play tanks with mobility, because when you have mobility, you have the option of going to where the action is. I look at those tanks, the Tiger that was defending this position. Now that the enemy is dead, there's nowhere else for him to go. He's got nowhere to go. Wherever he decides to go, it's going to take him a lot of time. Whereas I'm in my EBR 75, I can go to wherever I want to go right now. And I decide to go and defend the 1 again. I see the Caernarvon Panzer there. I want to go and see if I can disrupt him and see if I can rank myself up by destroying him. It is another, maybe this is a mistake because I do lose this tank. I get ambushed, but I think during the time that I had the opportunity to think about it, I think this is the best decision that I could make at this time, so I just stuck with it. I'm just gonna see if I can rank myself up, do as much damage as I can, and see if I can get into general before. Oh, but unfortunately I die before I can make a shot, and I haven't made it to general yet. Oh yes, I have. Finally, I've made it to general. It looks like I'm the only one with the general rank. So remember one of my tips: if you have reserve tanks in your respawn and you are reaching the end of the game, go ahead and YOLO. Use your HP. Trade your HP to get some damage. I could have, you know what I mean? If I was not aggressive, I could have ended up this game by just being a captain or a major. You know what I mean? But I realized that I have 2 tanks in reserve. I might as well just use that HP from that tank and just go to where the action is, get 2, 3, 4, 5 shots, as many shots as I can. If I died, I can almost instantly respawn again, get into another tank, be hyper aggressive again, get another 2, 3, 4 shots, whatever it is, and in my final tank, look, I'm in my last tank now. It doesn't matter because I've already made it to general just by managing my respawn well. So I just managed my respawn well, YOLO with my last 2 respawn tanks, and I managed to squeeze myself into general. Even though early in the game I made a couple of mistakes, right? I got into the Caernarvon AX and got into a terrible position. I got stuck in lieutenant rank for a very long time. It didn't look like I could make it, but in the end I did make it, and I even got the big dick badge, the general of the army. And I got the general of the army because I'm the highest XP and I am the only general in my team. So there you go, I got the general of the army as well, just because I didn't give up and I always tried to manage my respawn and be as aggressive as my reserve tanks allow me to be. I hope you enjoyed this video and took a bit of information that will be useful to you in the last 4 days left of this game mode. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this a like and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.